In this channel, we bring you the freshest discussions taking place in Japan's online community.
June 6 in Shenyang, China faced off against Thailand in the Asian second qualifying round for the North and Central America World Cup. It was a rivalry match with the second-place spot in the group, which would advance to the final qualifiers, on the line. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. China needed a win to secure second place and advance. But now they remain in second with 8 points. Thailand is in third with 5 points, and will go into the final match with a 3-point gap. Chinese media commented, "We wanted to bring joy to the large crowd with a win. But the best we could do was a draw against Thailand's elite squad." They added that while the attack gradually improved, the defense was still as weak as tofu.
Does China need to draw with South Korea now? So, Thailand needs to beat Singapore 3-0 and hope for China to lose. FIFA increased the spots for China. But it would be funny if they still didn't make it. Well, China doesn't have as much money now, so who cares? In Japan, they say, sieve, but in China, it's tofu. Apologize to tofu. Spot on. Lol. Is China not doing well? They can't even beat Thailand. Why is China so bad at team sports? It's because of the one-child policy. Chinese parents of an only child seem like the type to intervene a lot, which isn't good for sports like soccer, where being part of a team and getting along with older teammates is important. Even tofu itself is fragile, but saying it's not even as good as tofu. Even if China gets second place, they won't make it past that. In Asia, if you're not one of the top 5 teams, it's pretty sad. But you might still have a chance. Is China really that into soccer? Aren't they just doing it as a side thing? About 20 years ago, people said China would definitely become strong in soccer. But there's still no sign of that happening. They even beat Japan at one point. The Middle East has always been strong. But Southeast Asia is getting stronger than East Asia now. Southeast Asia's potential has been boosted with the expanded World Cup slots, making the competition fiercer in the second group. So China drew with Thailand? They've gotten stronger, thanks to naturalized players. The second round of qualifiers is already thrilling and fun to watch. It's impressive that China drew with Thailand, even with such a huge population and national effort. China isn't getting stronger, they're getting weaker. Lol. China has tofu too. Haven't you heard of stinky tofu? China's peak was probably when they lost 3-2 to Japan in the 2000 Asian Cup. Thailand has more potential now. Japan wasn't much better before they brought in Okada and naturalized Rui Ramos. Then they finally started to compete with South Korea. The Chinese team doesn't even feature Chinese players. The final match could lead to a comeback. Around 2000, China reached the Asian Cup finals and started their wealthy league, showing a lot of promise. The number of soccer players in China is probably low. They're all about table tennis. Even with more slots, they can't make it to the final qualifiers. There's no way they can get points off South Korea next. They should just naturalize all their players. If they want China to participate, they should just host the World Cup in China. The biggest handicap for the Chinese team is that they have to use Chinese players. If they used all Brazilians and Africans, they could get through the Asian qualifiers. Imagine Chinese people with all black players. That'd be hilarious. The players who went to Brazil around 2000 were technically skilled, but didn't pass or defend. They stood out in Asian tournaments, briefly went to big leagues, but hardly played. Thailand is really passionate about soccer. If China loses to South Korea in the final match, they're likely out. Missing out on the qualifiers even with 8.5 slots in Asia is unbelievable. Japan once drew with Singapore, so it's not a guaranteed win for Thailand. Nowadays, China is just worse than Thailand. It's Thailand who should be disappointed with the draw.
Did you find this video interesting? We'll keep bringing you fun topics from Japan's online community. Please subscribe to the channel and drop some comments.